Prima materia, primal material, black consciousness, vinyl music, the stone, black chematic, yoga, black consciousness. Inside the eye sits a black dot, and this represents the pineal gland, the eye, the seat of the soul, which is black, which is burned. So in alchemy, chem-eye, the eye of the chems, the KM, the alcohol hologram, the alcoholo, melanin, stressing, occultum is it also called, the hidden aspects of yourself, which are inside, are black, they are dark, your darkness, your dark aspects. So black consciousness is the whole, black material or an obscurum, an occultum. The hidden thing is black energy, dark energy matter. And this is the primal material, la materia prima, the prima materia in alchemy is burned. So if you would have something and you would understand that no matter what it is, if you would use the elements which are the angels of your mind, which gets me also into the quantum level and the spaces in between, so-called, it's not air, it's black matter. And if you understand black matter, and if you would understand the connection to melanin, to the stressing, to the increasing pressure in your head, you would understand that you create through the mental aspect, through the alchementi, halls of Amenti, the halls of Amun, Ra. So you would create through the inner into the outer. And this is why the more you start to grow, you start to see the hologram, the matrix, the net, the spider web. And you would see that your brain mirrors itself directly out. So in front of you, the left and the right hemisphere, the room consciousness is happening in front of you. You see it literally with your eyes. Now back to the topic, to the prima materia. So if something is prima, means you have made something very good or God. So you would put your thumb up. And this represents the uno, or the one. And we can also get into this game of ones and zeros and breaking the matrix through that, the quantum realm. So, well, it also gets into our secret powers and why we should not use them. But like I said, you basically create melanin through stressing. I was doing that for 13 years. Now I realized all of these things were just occurring in my mind. I was building something in my body which I'm now using in my mind. So it was about the melanin. It was about the stressing. So this leads to the dark matter aspect, which leads to the central nervous system, to the roots, which are red, and obviously then to see that, like I said, this is a Maya, this is an illusion, but we can have fun in here, and we are mirroring out what we have in. And this is basically, if you would have a bag, it should be empty, and from then on you put something in there, and it can only be empty when it's dark, when it's nothing, when it's no thing. So this black dot sits in your eye. It sits in your skull, which is your school. So your school is created through stressing and melanin. And what we are having right now happening here with all these needles and vaccinations, and no matter what, I mean, you cannot destroy melanin. Melanin, one more time, melanin. You cannot destroy it. You can try to shut it down, probably. But even that, it just once you realize these things, once you realize a lot of very powerful things, there's nothing more powerful than yourself. There's nothing more powerful than your mind. There's nothing more powerful than your own unit, your own body, which is leading me one more time to Shivamukalpa, to urine therapy, or sun gazing, or even moon gazing, or whatever gazing. So this leads me to the black dot. And this leads me to melanin. And from my point of view, even these needles and these so-called vax, they would make me stronger. So I'm only for my mind to move on, because it seems like this shit is, and I say shit because this is literally what it is. This is a garbage realm. But it's of course my perception and perspective onto it. But the melanin aspect, the stressing aspect, is maybe it's about, hey, I am God, and these minions around me try to copy the melanin with these vaccinations and with the black screens, which are they're not directly melanin, they're representing melanin, but it's about folding yourself, katana, your body, so often that you create something in your body which is black in your nervous system, to realize that it's you looking out all the time, and all these programs which you think are put from something that sits above you, they are not above you, they are you. That's the thing. How could it be? I get freaking goosebumps here. How could it be that there might be something which is more powerful than you? It's impossible. So I am possible, because melanin gets increased through stressing. So if you try to destroy the black thing, it only grows. And this is why you should leave it. You should leave the dark matter. You should leave the obscurum or the occultum. Because the more you start to try to explain it, the more you start to try to work with it, the more you even try to shut it down, or the more you try to let it out, it always grows. It will never diminish, because everything gets pulled into the destroying aspect. So generator, operator, destroyer. One more time, generator, operator, destroyer. This is black consciousness. So you can't stop melanin. It's impossible, because you come from that. You come through the portal of the black soul, the black light. You have your experience here, your way, the way you walk here, and then you die and you go through the black hole one more time. And maybe, like, you wake up in another universe. Maybe it's this, what is happening here in this reincarnation thing, which I'm definitely getting out from, and I will not come back here only if I have to explain myself something again, because there is nothing else than myself. There's only my soul experiencing itself in the donut mirror. So everything that I have in front of me is me. So this is the absurd thing which I have to learn, which I have to, see through that. And I have to see through these different doors when I can lock them, when I see them, and I'm like, okay. It's basically a mental game. Sure, we have these bodies and we should have, of course, fun in here, enjoy the process. But in the end, if look at society is a very good representation of what everybody looks for, still they don't get it from this perception, maybe because it's too mental for them. Everybody looks exactly for the black hole. You long for that. You want to go into the hole again. You don't want to be here. This is hell. You burn in here. Because only through having fire, having roots, having red, you could experience yourself here. Because this is your fuel. Red is your fuel. It represents your fire. Now blue represents obviously the cold aspect, or the water. And this balancing act of red and blue equals in purple. So this equals in enlightenment into 144 kilohertz. So 144 living souls, or 144 resonance frequency in yourself. The pairing aspects of yourself, the marriage of black and white, which equals in gray. So you become gray, you become wise through that, and then you realize that you don't go anywhere, you don't fucking move here. It's only about your mind, your body, and what you mirror out, what you put out as the black dot. Now this melanin, which we try to shut down, it seems like to me, everybody looks for the black hole. Everybody actually looks for the melanin. Still, not many beings, if they are even real, like I said, I can never say that. And I'm still on this journey questioning myself this. But maybe it's about, getting through and growing in the melanin, growing into the next dawn, growing into the next black aspect. I realized it is myself who is observing myself in the others. And this is not talking about an ego perception or from a perception that I'm above you. That's not the point. I'm just very open, truthful, and transparent with you how I see the world. One more time, how I see the world. Because you could become a world champion. Still, you would not know what that really is and what it means. Because being a world champion is only about mastering your own word. Or mastering your world view, your viewpoint house, your lighthouse, which is basically black. So you would have a black surface. From there on, you would create different light patterns onto that, which would equal in your energy systems, in your chakras, in your resonators, representing different vibrations inside of you that you mirror out. This is basically the original workings. So you would have a black surface. From that on, you would, for example, put red in there. Now this would resonate with your roots, would resonate with your red energy system. And these are the original things. You know, I just see that into the ether grid, into the net, into the web, into the internet, into the interweb, into the interwebbed black consciousness, into the black matter. And black matter, like I said, it could freaking grow, or it could expand, or it could contract like a muscle, you know. And we try to explain these things in outer space, and still, I have never been to outer space. Even if I would be an astronaut, which maybe just means I'm an astronaut. I'm not able to go into the astral because I believe in astronauts. But whatever. If I would be in outer space, shooting my rocket up into the sky, and if I would realize then that if I would look at the globe, if it would even be a globe, whatever, wouldn't it be an observing perception? Wouldn't it be an observing state of mind? Wouldn't it be that you look into the world where you think you originate from, where you think you live, still you would be in outer space observing your planet home from outer space, but where you actually then are in black matter, in darkness, looking into the world where you come from, looking into Terra. So it's always an observing state of mind. It's always that you mirror yourself in your surroundings. So this is why I'm pretty sure I'm Osiris, I'm a pharaoh, I'm a Kemetic prince, I'm a Kemetic king, I'm a Kemetic pharaoh. Why do I say Kemetic? Because from my research, and there you have the wording. The words are already explaining to you what it is. It's a research for something. So you were looking for something. You research it. So that means you look again. You look again for something that was already there, but you were too narrowed, too numbed down to see it, because you could not work with language. You could not decode it. What is actually sitting in front of you? Because this is you. So this is why I am the master of the universe. This is why I am that pharaoh walking in here, still being freaking blind, although I have the freaking blueprints to reality, when I know that all this shit is not even real, and I'm only purging my own darker aspects of myself, or giving them to the world, whatever. And maybe this is how I'm this is what I also would like to talk about. This is how I'm scratching and I'm rebuilding society. Because if you would understand what music is, if you would understand alchemy, if you would understand Prima materia, if you would understand the essence sits in your skull. It is black. It will never be destroyed. You will never be blind, although you are already. Because if you would fast, for example, if you would drink urine, you can never be, you're not sick. It's only like energy systems which are not able to flux things through the body. But so Prima materia is something black. It represents everything and nothing at the same time. So from that, you create whatever you have or you would like to have in your life. This is what the infinity level of a magician would be. So you would only use mental alchemy, because it's an imagination either way. It's an illusion. You would like to have $1 million in front of you. Still, what you would then have is the imagination of something which sits in front of you, which you first had in your mind. Because I don't know, there are so many different reasons why you would like to have so much money. But see, if you would understand this process, you create everything through the darkness which sits in your mind. Now the question is, what is your deepest resonation that you have in you? How many layers have you broken apart from yourself? How much time have you folded up yourself? How many times did you die? So this explains your depth then. And your depth is basically the degree of darkness, the degree of blackness. And so, see, this is you could only raise as high as you have been. You can only raise as high, as low as you have been. So that means you have to become so freaking dark, black, dry, to raise as high as you can and then operate from there. Because you have the freaking deepest roots. And the deepest roots are not even existing. They are not there. It's dark matter, like I said. It's a prima materia. A vinyl, an empty vinyl disc. So from this disc, you could scratch whatever you would like to have onto that. One more time. You could scratch whatever you would like to have onto the vinyl disc, onto the empty vinyl disc. You would be able, see, it's metaphorically, but it's also literally, because the human body is a sound resonator. So from that on, you would understand the quantum level. And the quantum level is working on sound, on resonance that you're not even able to hear. Still, it's there all the time. You're just not aware of it. I have been aware of it sometimes. Not all the time. I mean, to be all the time on that dark matter aspect, it would be pretty much killing myself all the time. This is basically what we do in here. See, the absurd thing is that this is, I would say, basically the true goal. But you have to be very strong to do that. Because you would go and look for the whole. To become holy. See, still, it was all yourself. It was all myself. There is only the dark aspect of myself. Because if I would stand up and spread my arms while the sun is shining, I would create a dark cross, which is the shadow, which is my own darkness in myself, where there will never be light. Never. I mean, sure, we could talk about Shiva Mukalpa and plasma ultrafiltrate, and what it is, but see, your body is dark from the inside. And how your body functions, how your brain is functioning, is directly mirrored out in your subconscious mind, which equals your environment. The virus of the mind, because the brain is a prism. It's a prism or a prison for the soul, which is the black soul, which is the black light. So this is why this shit is not real. I have 2 eyes in here. Maybe it's part of a dream, because the other world's already so much fucking sucking, because we destroyed it with all these fucking technologies. Still, the last call here is to wake up others, if there are even other souls, black lights. And in the end, it's field work, field work. One more time, field work. Field work is what is happening onto the grid. So if you would see the net, the hologram, like I said, I'm a brain in a fish tank somewhere else, and I'm having all these, I don't know, these representations of myself here. Why? See, and I can look for all these things, and I'm breaking through these barriers. See, I'm using different words, I'm using different worlds, and this is how I create through that. It's freaking powerful. But like I said, Occultum, the vinyl, the scratching, the music, the Prima materia, alchemy, black consciousness, black dot, obscurum, black matter, black energy. So, everybody's so in fear. If you would have monsters and all these horror things, what they would be afraid of? You would say they're afraid of light. I would say they're afraid of the black hole. Because everything, no matter what it is, would dissolve itself in urine. But no, it would dissolve in black. It would dissolve in the black hole. It would just, if I would gaze into that for long enough, it would die. It would get sucked into my shape, and it would die. And the more black you become in your soul, the more you start to know. Because everything sits in you. Everything sits in you. And it's not the other way around, that you look in the world for something. You are already the world. It's not that you go out and you travel the world for something. Because you never go anywhere. You never moved. All you've done is you were projecting your movie outside. And this is the true creational mode, where I would say there's probably only me. And this is not from an egotistic mind, because still I believe in humanity. I believe in the faith of humanity. And I believe, as be live, or it's a lie anyways, whatever. But it's an illusion, it's a maya. Even that is a trap, But still, I if there would be even one other living soul for my girlfriend, Antigona, just like against the birthing process. See, and this is basically what is needed, because this creates melanin, which creates stress, which creates an obstacle. Where in the first place there is nothing, there is not even this obstacle. But we have to, in this illusion, create an obstacle to break through that, and then to realize to go to the next thing, because there is nothing. You are nothing. You are black. In your eye, in your hole, there sits nothing. You have this shell. So the question is, you would carry things in your soul. You would carry understandings. When you go to the next realm, you are an old soul. You go into the next realm, you go into the next life, into the next lie. And I'm like I said, I'm leaving all these nuggets as long as I'm here in this realm. And then if I go, I go. If I leave, I leave. I'm done here. So, like I said, to have a Doppler effect of black, you have a mental aspect of black. Now you would put black upon black upon black upon black, and you would gaze so much. If you look into your pupil, you would understand it's a different type of black, because it's a type of black that goes in deep. It's not a superficial. Do you say superficial or surf? It's not a black on the surface. It's a black which sucks in. It's a black hole. And this is the connection to your seat of the soul, to your black soul, to your black light, which stimulates melanin, which is basically sitting on the root of your spine. And then if you would push the melanin, which sits maybe in your balls even, it sits in the cerebral spinal fluid. I don't even know, but I would say it sits on the root of your spine, and you would push the stress up from your spine into your head, and you would create from there with melanin. So take a look at Bobby Hemmett's works. But all these masters, all these other masters, all these other lighthouses, which we mirror ourselves with in this grid, in this ocean. This is how I see it, because everybody is a light. It's not about how big you are. It's not about how tall your lighthouse grows. It's not about how great you become. It's not about that. It's about your perception and your perspective. I could grow my lighthouse into the freaking dark, into the complete other direction, because I'm also trying to get away from this chaos aspect and order it a bit more. But if you would really understand chaos is the most structured thing, because no matter where you are onto your life, or in your paragraph, where it seems like you go somewhere and then you fall and then you rise again and whatever, you are always at your best. You're always the chaos star. You're always the black dot. And this is a question of perception. It's a question of observing. So this is what true melanin is. This is what true mental mastery is. So scratch your track, stress yourself, and also relax yourself. Gaze and philosophize about the black one. Occultum, vinyl, scratching, melanin, black consciousness, chematic, pharaoh, God.